Welcome to the Co-Host Bros Podcast, where we break down everything short-term rentals, entrepreneurship, and building a profitable hospitality business. Whether you're a host, investor, or property manager, we share real strategies, real insights, and real experiences to help you scale smarter and grow faster. Let's dive in.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 102, the only podcast of the Tool Coolest Dudes. My name is Matt Codd, and I'm here with Austin Spitzberger. We are the Co-Host Bros Podcast. Today, we want to welcome Dawn Cornett to the house, fellow Texan. Hopefully, I said that right. I didn't ask you how to pronounce it. I figured I could handle that this time. So, welcome.
Yeah, I married into a pretty easy last name, so absolutely.
Yeah, you're good on that one, Matt. Probably botches, I'd say 75% of the names on the intro is just kind of like his thing, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of part of the show. But you're
After
one
I
of the
ask
20.
you to,
Yeah.
It's a superpower.
Yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and jump right into it, Don. For people that don't know you in our space, tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of what you do in the vacation rental space.
Hey guys, so absolutely. I personally am a personal development junkie, been hot and heavy for, I don't know, 15, 20 years in Tony Robbins events and all things that have to do with mindset, personal development, and going deep spiritually. So, big into manifesting and all that fun stuff. And then in the co hosting space, started buying my own short-term rentals in 2016, and that's been fun doing them here in Texas to start and then quickly spreading, throughout the nation. And I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago started co-hosting. So we co-host for, I don't know, about 40 properties. There's constantly onboarding and offboarding. I don't know if y'all have read the book Pumpkin Plan Your Business, but we are going through pumpkin planning right now. Um, so doing that, and then also do a lot of boutique hotel co-hosting. So we own our own micro resort here in Texas and then manage a couple boutique hotels for other people. We're investors in quite a few boutique hotels, and we've got two that we're working on right now that are historic renovations, which are always their own little bear of things to go through that we're launching.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that you mentioned Pumpkin Plan. Our 100th episode. What is this? 102, Matt? This is 102.
102.
Yeah, so our 100th episode was actually Mike McCallowicks, who wrote the Pumpkin Plan, obviously, and that's very interesting that you brought that up. So that kind of brings me to my next question. So, what does pumpkin planning mean to you, and like, what did you maybe for our audience that didn't listen to that episode, how did you implement that into your portfolio?
Yeah, so the book broke it down so cleanly where, and I love the analogy of meeting somebody that like literally grew pumpkins in a pumpkin patch, and how do you make it that much bigger than everybody's and more successful? And it's really just always picking out the weeds and all the stuff. And like everybody knows the 80/20 rule, right? But how often do we implement that? And if we know 80% of our revenue is coming from 20% of our clients, 80% of the work's done by 20% of the people, like it just applies everywhere, right? And so now that we're using Claude and it's really just kind of rocked our world finally. I've been watching you, Matt, post different cool stuff you're doing too. But now that we're finally using that and it can easily just dissect data for us, we're like, cool, like let's really just keep the top 20% of the properties that we manage and get rid of all the ones that are noise, and we've been going through this week specifically and figuring out which properties just don't make sense for the future. We want to have the time freedom. We want to have stuff like that. And my husband has no problem. Like, boom, go get rid of it. And I do. Like, I get emotionally attached to people. I get emotionally attached to properties. So we're going through our negotiation process right now as to what will get pumpkin planned and what, I think has great networking opportunities for the owner and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, it's such a good book. And I was telling Mike McCallowicks on our call, I was like, we did not year over year grow in inventory of the properties we manage. We managed same amount of properties from last year, but we did like over 1 million more in bookings just by shaving off properties and just adding a few. So we kind of did like a gradual version of it. It was slower than I would have liked to put it. I would have came in and done it all in one clean sweep, but I don't know. That's kind of how I did it. So what does it look like for you for your pumpkin plan? Like, is there certain headache owners that is a primary focus? Is it revenue related? Are you just kind of
Yeah.
raising your standards where it's like, hey, we won't take anything that'll generate below this? What does that maybe what does that look like? Just in case somebody listening has something that might fit that buy box.
Yeah, we've done it over the years, kind of like you described, where it's just like, an owner is a jerk or hard to deal with, and we're like, that's just let's just go ahead and make sure we're only always fine tuning who we want to work with and letting them go rather quickly, or we notice that property isn't hitting projections or doing the revenue we wanted, and or maybe we take one on in a new market. We took some on in some different markets that aren't our primary markets, and we're like, it is really challenging to find good help there or expand the business there, so let's go ahead and drop that market and focus on where it's just easier. But what we're doing this week is really revenue based and getting a lot cleaner on how many I mean, we've got several people. We've got about 10 people on our team. So, in addition to VAs, we have quite a few people in Texas that help us. And how many properties do we have that we are just paying other people to? We're making enough money to pay people to manage them. And it's like, oh, well, that's a headache and quite unnecessary. It just creates a lot of noise in my head. So, we're going through some things. It wasn't always quite as easy without taking a lot of time to know the exact revenue per property, per quarter, per year, per month, and now with AI, it really is um, easier to dissect that. So we just had our Q1 review with our bookkeeper, and she also is in the STR business. She's got quite a few of her own STRs. She only does the books for STRs, and she's like, okay, here's what I see other people doing. Here's the ones that just don't make sense, and kind of helping us counsel in that too.
Yeah, I'm assuming we have maybe the same bookkeeper based on just what you described, or maybe the same accountant, because uh yeah, it sounds like that. But I forgot where I was gonna
Is
go.
she here in Texas?
Yeah, she's here in Texas, closer in my region.
In San Antonio? Yes.
Yeah, yeah, she's a rock star. So I guess we can just shout her out since we're already there. We like Almas over there. What is I don't even know what the I just know Almas, but her and her team are super great. So um yeah, can you could vouch for her as well, I
Almost is
assume.
amazing, has become one of my closest friends, and she's very into mindset, manifestation, spirituality, as well as AI. So, like, I love aligning my business with like-minded people on the personal side and like people who are really using the newest tools too. So,
Love
Yeah, I
that.
mean that's crazy because Claude could totally do her job. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I just talked to her
eh,
about that actually.
there is actually people linking their QuickBooks to their
Mhm.
Claude, which is really odd. Um, it's I wanted to like rewind. You kind of just said like you started doing buying short term rentals around this time. You started co-host around this time, but what made you get a short term rental? Like what started it all? What was the like? Oh, I'm just gonna buy a short term rental. What was that moment?
Yeah, about 15 years ago, I rented a house. It was before like Airbnb was super popular or even Verbo yet. And I think it was like texaslakehouses.com, one of those websites. Rented a lake house for my son's 17th birthday that would fit our whole family and nieces and nephews and stuff. And we pull in, and I have a few questions for the owner, and I call her, and she's like, just so you know, we are next door right now. We own three lake houses in a row on that street. And I'm like, why would you own three in a row? And she's like, what do you mean, as investments? And so I start thinking about it, and I call her back, and I'm like, does the revenue from guests on this house pay all your bills? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh. And then I call her back later. I'm like, what about the lawn care? What about the trash pickup? What about the insurance? What about the housekeepers? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, great. Or buying a family lake house that other people pay for. I was just over the moon excited. And then I found Richard Fertig. I don't know if y'all are familiar with him when he launched his YouTube channel 2016-ish. He was one of the OGs. He's not still active in the space. He is flown past where most of us are. But he was a hedge fund manager who got into doing short-term rentals and taught you all the little tricks about doing automate door locks and all the fancy stuff at the time, and just became obsessed with watching his videos, all learning everything I can. We went and bought our first lake house, and I really wanted to create my listing in November of 2016, even though we had a lot of work to do on this baby, because I didn't want to wait till January to create it, because then it would say I was a host since 2016, not 2017. It looks better. My husband's like, no, 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 you can't create a listing. Because I didn't know how to like block the calendar until I was ready. I just knew I'm going to create a listing and make it go live. And I was like, don't worry, baby. Nobody's going to book it with these pictures. It needs so much work. There's carpet in the bathrooms. I mean, blue ceilings. And within, a few days of creating a listing, we had a booking for check-in in 10 days. And he's like, cancel it. And I'm like, mm-mm, we can do hard things. And he's like, no, you have to cancel it. I was like, not happening. And so we both had very demanding IT jobs at the time, and just hired a bunch of people and went out there and made stuff happen and moved mountains in like 10 days and hosted our first guests and learned a ton. And just, I love hard deadlines. I thrive with deadlines that are not very manageable. So we did that. And then we're like, okay, cool. Well, Richard said you should buy out of state next. And we just kind of followed his path and his recommendation, joined his mastermind, and 2017, 2018, started attending the Verbo conferences for owners back in the day, and got immersed in the community, and just fell in love with it. Totally fell in love with it.
That's killer. Okay, so now that we backed it up, because that's what I wanted to do first, but then I also want to go back to, you were talking about like how you're using Claude. It's so much easier for you to get your financial data and things like that, which I totally agree. For you guys that don't know, you could literally have it build you a whole dashboard that stays live constantly. You could host it on the internet. I'm just saying this could happen. I sent Austin a video of one, but I think it's really cool. So you're based on your operations, and you said you have like 10 teammates. Is that what that is? 10 teammates,
Hmm.
right? Do you
Yeah.
see Claude like kind of taking stuff away from the people that you have now, and maybe reducing that or shifting them to higher priority things?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be shifting to higher priority things, but after really digging, I took two different AI courses last week and let someone go yesterday from on the US side on the operations, because the labor is just so heavy. But I do, and I hate like everything that's going on. Like, I'm still very, even though I left my IT job, very connected to corporate IT with so many of the people I knew for decades, and seeing the layoffs going on. 30,000 people at Oracle in one email. And 8,000 at Meta. I'm just, all the people, like, we've had more IT layoffs in the past 45 days than ever in history, and it's all to build AI data centers. So I hate that. And at the same time, I truly believe what Cody Sanchez and Dan Martell and all of the OGs, influencers say about, if we are not using AI to streamline our business, create more time, and free up operational costs, and you are a small business, you will be out of business by the end of the year. And it's not that I'll be replaced by somebody AI completely, but I will be replaced by someone who's using AI. So I'm just going to make sure I'm one of those people who's learning and implementing and getting costs down and doing what I can. We've deployed and using HostBuddy AI, but I really do want to take a lot of the savings. Just met with a friend who was showing me that you don't need a Stay-Fi subscription anymore. You can use Claude to do that, and look at different ways here that are big costs for our business, and look at how do we take some of that savings and use it to create more hospitality that is human. I don't want to be all AI with the human. We just spent 30 days in Italy, stayed at 5 different boutique hotels, 6 different short-term rentals, and the level of in personal hospitality is unlike anything I've seen in the US. I have fresh pastries on my door, or fresh lemons we just picked from our lemon orchard, and it was so high touch. And I'm like, I really want to completely change up our hospitality to use the savings to create more in touch I keep saying high touch hospitality that's very human, yet operationalize everything on the back end.
Yeah, I love it. It's crazy. I think it's coming for everybody. I mean, honestly, like, I love Jay from HostBuddy, and I love HostBuddy as a product, but you don't need it. Claude could do it for you. Claude does it for me,
Wow.
and the cost is significantly less. I mean, you're talking you spit off 100 messages in a month is maybe $2. So you're talking a significant difference if you actually know how to do it. So it's crazy. And that's that's like what I'm doing with all my messages are through Claude, almost like 99.9% of my messages, besides like the ones I have set up in the PMS. So you can do a lot of things, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it kind of almost scares me. I feel like AI is eventually going to be running short-term rental businesses without people. I mean, you could take over your browser. It's just wild.
It is wild. My oldest son is 31, and he just convinced me this week to try the AI tool Ash, which has
Mhm.
become his therapist. It's like a combination with a psychiatrist and a mindset coach, right? And so when you talk through anything you're struggling with emotionally and trying to process, it's way different than ChatGPT or Claude is. And so I started talking to it every day on my walks when I walk my dog, and it's like I have made the I've had with Ash. So yeah, I saw that therapy is one of the huge at the top of the list for industries that's going to be really disrupted this year by AI. So it's not just what we
Yeah.
think of with, building websites and communication with people, but all sorts of other stuff too.
Yeah.
You want
I
to be
mean,
safe? We
I
just
don't
all
know.
need to go how to weld, right?
There's so many interesting use cases. I mean, seriously, like I watched a video where a guy like was like, okay, summarize everything that's happened today through all my emails and this and that and create a podcast. And he literally goes and walks and there's like two AI guys on a podcast telling him what's going on with his day. It's funny because like I created a couple different AI videos of myself with all the video and audio that I have from doing this. And I posted them, and I think like 95% of the people didn't even realize it was AI. They were like
Wow.
commenting on it, and they were like da 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 da, and I was like, "This is crazy." And then my brother jumps on, and he's like, "Total AI," and I'm like, "Oh, you knew it." But it's just funny to me because you don't know if you're getting fooled anymore.
Yeah, and it is
So
going to be really weird in a year, never knowing which pictures, videos, and audios real, right?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's scary. Um. So okay, I love all of it. What made you say, "Hey, I'm gonna build a freaking like glamping or like you said glamping site, right? Or big
No,
what is
I
it?
don't do glamping. A micro
We're just
resort.
the
Yeah, yeah.
micro resort. So what made you decide to join like oh now lake houses aren't enough. We're just gonna build a micro resort. Like what pushed you to that point? I don't
Well,
know if pushed
COVID
is the right
was
word,
in
but
yeah, COVID was interesting, and I personally felt like, as the good Texan I am, there was like too much government overreach going on at the time, and we were being pushed into some different rules in my corporate job that was with a California-based company, and so we were trying to figure out where are we getting land so we have a bug out plan in case I can't go grocery shopping without following certain rules that have come out, right? And so we just started on a land hunt, and all we knew is we just wanted the land to pay for itself. We're in the short-term rental business. It's 2021, we can find land. So we ended up finding a 34-acre ranch with three very basic cabins on it, and it's just gorgeous. Like it feels like you're in the hill country, but you're in Bluffdale, Texas, just outside of Granbury. So I never would have guessed there was this kind of hill country vibe, but so we purchased that and did a new build and crafted something that would be really, I mean, I feel like I'm always my own customer avatar. I buy 5-bedroom lake houses because I have 4 adult sons, and now I want, at least 8 bedrooms so I can host retreats for friends and family and corporate retreats and yoga retreats and all the stuff. So as we started putting this together, it was like, cool, what budget do we want to work with and how do we want to craft building out spaces? I don't camp. I don't even enjoy glamping. I like really comfortable beds and strong air conditioning and strong Wi-Fi. And so we crafted something I thought I would like, and been going with that Skyview Ranch. And it's still, we went there this morning. We used to go out every other week 'cause it's not that far from where we live, and all the touches and stuff. And lately it's been once a quarter because our life is so full. And so went out this morning and looking at all the little touches and stuff like that. So yeah, I love having a micro resort.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
That's awesome. So, like, when you're talking about like for your portfolio for management, is it because you mentioned a project, I think before we started this call in New Orleans? What does your management look like? Are you open to boutique style assets anywhere in the United States? Is it mostly in the Dallas area? Like, what does your portfolio look like? And then as you're pumpkin planning your portfolio and adding more inventory, Are there geographical constraints, or like where would you like to go? I guess in your business with that.
Yeah, we grew really easily and fast in Granbury, Texas. It's a charming little lake town with a lot of visitors. And when we started 10 years ago, there was like 85 short-term rentals. Now there's 650. So there's a lot of people looking for hosts. So people come to us all the time. So it's been very easy to add local lake houses to our portfolio. And we are much more interested in doing the creative boutique, especially moving forward properties instead of just a regular lake house. So very excited about we're working on the Glenrose Hotel in Glenrose, Texas, and it's a big historic renovation. It'll be very curated and boutique 32 room hotel. And now the New Orleans Hotel, same thing, like a very specific traveler and very someone very cultured. And so yeah, we really like those types of properties. Love the micro resort. Met with someone yesterday about a retreat center. So really prefer the very unique ones, and we're very excited about the boutique hotel space.
I love it. What is the synergies like between maybe like you and your husband in the business? Talk about that. Like, what's it like being in business also with your significant other? What is his roles and responsibilities? What are yours? How do you stay, you know, connected in
Yeah.
that way?
We've been together 17 years and we both had IT careers. And mine was in Dallas and his was full time travel with Big Five Consulting Monday through Friday. We kind of had our own lives. And we were able to get him out of his consulting career 6 years ago or so to do this full time. Mine was very lucrative because I was on the sales side. So it took us till March of 2025 to get me out of my full time. And we've always gotten along, but now, y'all, we are together 24/7. Like we are always together and we get along like 10 times better than we ever have. It's very unusual, I think, and unique when I talk to ChatGPT about it. And it has like, our astrology signs and our birth dates and all the disc profiles and everything about me and my husband. It says like you are Chip and Joanna Gaines, you are Tony and Sage Robbins. You are the two unique personalities that can actually work together and thrive. So like we get along even better now that we're doing everything together. He is very much data driven and operations, and I hate numbers and boring stuff. So, when we are launching new properties where he wants to spend money on redoing electrical panels, and I'm like, ugh, boring. I want, beautiful aesthetics. So I am all about the actual hospitality, the guest experience, how I want them to feel, and amenities and the team. And he's much more about revenue management and creating streamlined operations and helping people.
Would
He
it
has his real estate license, so he helps people find properties a lot.
would it be fair to say, based on everything you're saying, it just seems like you maybe lean a little more visionary, and maybe he's a little more integrator. Is that accurate, or am
Yeah,
I off on that?
it is.
That's a perfect combination, though. Like that's what makes the rocket go up, and that's probably why you guys have done so well.
Yeah. I mean, I like to do everything based on my gut, and he likes data. I'm like, cool, we'll follow my gut, and then you put together the data.
Perfect combo there. What you got, Matt?
She's just like, can you? I need you to change that to a 9 right now. It's like, but you're like, just make it a 9. Come with the data. It doesn't have to be right. Um, so when you're thinking of selling some properties and pumpkin planting them, are you planning on buying a hotel, another or a hotel somewhere else, or are you looking at hotels, or what's the journey look like with the hotels?
We're investors right now in the one that we're launching in Glenrose, Texas, and we're working on looking for our next purchase and really trying to figure out where in the nation that should be. Been looking for a few months and have looked at some in the Smokies, looked at some in Arkansas, and just trying to figure out. I feel like both in boutique hotels and in short-term rentals, the opportunity location shifts on us rather quickly. So trying to figure out where exactly that should be.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to buy a hotel, like what's the I guess what's the ways that you would acquire it? Like what is yeah, that but as far as financing, owner financing, things like that, maybe break that down for
Yeah, I mean,
others.
so much of it is before even starting that is figuring out your why and what you're looking for. We have one couple we're helping right now, and they just really want to get them out of this W-2 within 5 years. And we're working back from a number with a budget for an approved SBA loan to go towards that. Some people just need write-offs for their medical practice. And like, okay, I want to write off, I have $3 million I want to spend this year to take off my W-2 taxes. So it's so dependent on which person, but you can get SBA loans fairly easily. I really am a huge fan of partnering and finding somebody who is more the investor, somebody's more inclined to be the operator, and somebody who's more talented on if you're going to have a lot of remodeling overseeing that part. Because when you come together with a few people, it's not near as overwhelming a project. I see the opportunity is freaking huge in Texas right now. Every single little town has boutique hotels all of a sudden, and it doesn't matter how small. I mean, Hyco, Texas put a 6-room boutique hotel over a restaurant, and that's like a blip, as I drive through. So every town, and it's not that there's an opportunity to go buy ones that the operators are just exhausted. And in that circumstance, a lot are totally happy to do owner finance because then they're able to get out of their day to day grind that they're not enjoying anymore. And they don't have to pay this huge tax bill on getting a big chunk of money, right? But then there's an opportunity to say, dude, that's a really cool office space over that restaurant in the middle of downtown, whatever town, right? That could actually be 10 rooms, 10 bedrooms, and they could be themed out and it could be wicked cool. Or picking little pieces of space, taking clusters of cabins and just creating a brand. Ooh, it's a boutique hotel. It's really trending right now. People are buying jails, people are buying churches and making them into the coolest boutique hotels. So, how much work you want to do, whether you want to partner with someone to finance, get an SBA loan, or have the tax write off, all that stuff is so personal, dependent. There's a lot of options.
Yeah.
I think
No,
I
that's
saw
all good.
that.
Sorry,
You
Sorry,
saw what?
somebody bought the jail. Somebody bought the jail,
Do you know
or was that the
Ashita?
jail? Sheeta bought the jail. That's what I thought. She bought the jail. They're gonna convert the jail to a hotel, right?
Dude, and
Yeah.
I think of a jail, and I would think the rooms would be itty bitty. And I saw the renderings her husband was showing me. They're huge, luxurious rooms, and it's black on black on black. The ceiling, the walls, the floors, everything, and they're gorgeous. So getting creative with that stuff's really neat.
Yeah, that's
So when you
crazy.
do that, do you keep like the jail theme and vibe or what? Or is it just like a full-blown conversion? Do you play on that? Like what's the move there?
I the
I haven't
ones
heard it.
I've
I've never heard of
seen
this.
before are like full conversions into ultra luxury spaces. And you kind of do the opposite. People expect jails to be super small spaces. They're very large rooms, but like the restaurant downstairs is going to be the clink, or you know what I mean? They create little things throughout the hotel that are words that pull in the whole jail theme.
Yeah. Plus, every room's a master. They all have toilets. No, I'm just kidding. It's jail cell. Joke. Dad joke. No.
Um,
I was
yeah,
like, what? Like, I think most hotel rooms
No,
have
because
toilets, but
every jail cell has a bathroom in it technically, so it's a master suite. That's all.
I'm with you
It's
now.
just yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Sorry. Over everybody's head on that one. That was a good one too.
every now and
It's too
then
bad.
you have a joke that doesn't land, and that's okay, Matt, but it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But no, Dawn,
Matt,
I
have
was
you
going to
heard
ask
of
you.
Postcard Cabins? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go
Mm-mm.
for it. Go for
It's
it.
right down there by you. It's a little suburb just northwest of Houston, but we just went and checked it out. Marriott just bought them, and it's like a micro resort of all cabins. And I was really surprised. We loved checking out different micro resorts and boutique hotels on like a random Sunday night, And we drove down there a few months ago, and there's no Wi-Fi, and they don't tell you that before you go. Like I was like, dude, we're really interesting. But like Marriott bought them and is exploding everywhere all over the nation. And so
Yeah,
the
there's a
big
couple of them I see. Yeah, in Brazos. Yeah,
yeah,
I know where that is.
you just create a dope brand, and the big guys are coming in and buying those like crazy. Hyatt and Hilton and Marriott are all over buying little boutique hotels, and
Or management companies also.
mhm. Yep.
That's crazy. Um, yeah. So have you done like, are you thinking about doing like, well, maybe you've already started. Are you doing any kind of like personal branding where you're going to be like the boutique hotel queen where you come in and and you're going to brand yourself as like, we're the boutique hotel people. Like, I'm sure there's people already doing that to some degree, but I don't know. Any thoughts around that? And I guess that kind of gears towards my question is really like, what are you guys doing to have such success from like a client acquisition um, uh, place? Like, how are you getting all these deals? What are you doing? And like, I guess, how are you signing clients?
Yeah, I think client wise, it's a lot of networking. It's a lot of Facebook, y'all. I'm a poster, as as my uncle likes to call. I have a couple aunts and uncles that said they stopped following me because I post too much on Facebook. Like, well, I'm just a poster. So yeah, I like to post every day about what's going on in our business and our life. And I find that 90% of our clients have come to us through Facebook, whether it's for our boutique hotel mastermind or management or whatnot. So that's fun and easy, and I enjoy it. So that's been relatively simple. And then, referrals and word of mouth. But yes, absolutely. The boutique hotel people. I have a couple friends that manage boutique hotels, but none of them will do full service. They'll only do like the guest messaging, but I'm not going to go sell micro weddings or manage your cleaners or your handyman. The owner still gets to do that in different parts. Um, and I don't know any other boutique operators that do boutique hotel management. There's a couple big firms, kind of like the evolves of the space, but it's a fun, unique position to be in 2026.
That's where you're going to come in and solve the problem, and you're going to keep building this awesome brand that you're building.
Yep, it is Skyview Hotel Collection. We started with, Skyview Properties and Skyview Lake House, and then we built Skyview Ranch. And so I am obsessed with watching the sunset every night, and I want beautiful sky views everywhere I go. So
Yeah, that's crazy. So is that what you? So when people join like your mastermind per se, is that you teach them how to manage hotels?
yeah, either purchase. We have a couple clients that are about to close on their first hotels and teach them operationally how to manage them or how to manage for other people.
Yeah. So how do you manage? So you manage a hotel remotely, right? You
Hmm.
do,
The New
right? So,
Orleans
but
one,
do you have?
actually. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do we have
Do you, I'm
what?
sorry. Do you have staff there at any of them, or
So the
how
New
does that
Orleans
work?
hotel will be the first one that requires 24/7 front desk. It's a city requirement. So we're hiring and interviewing for that right now. But the other ones are very contactless. So the thing I love about the boutique hotel space is it pulls in everything we've learned over the years from short-term rentals, how to do great guest communication remotely and have a contactless check-in. But it adds a level of scale where I have 14 check-ins in one building one cleaner can manage, instead of having all over. And we just create a brand around it. And then, like the city, the town that you're in is excited about supporting you and sending out emails about you. And the chamber's all excited in a way they're certainly not for your short term rental that you're launching. But we have found that it's very helpful depending on your demographic. We manage the Nut House Hotel in Granbury, Texas, and the demographic's quite a bit older. And so we realized a few months after we launched, that a lot of the guests were not thrilled that there was no one there to answer their questions. So now we just pay somebody $20 an hour to be there for 3 hours on Friday and 3 hours on Saturday to say, "Welcome. Can I help you carry your bag and show you to your room?" And the reviews have been off the charts just by doing that. And that's a pretty low cost, really, if you think about it. So that's our recommendation moving forward with other hotels we're opening.
Do you have a backup for that in case that person doesn't come to work? Out of curiosity.
We don't for this individual, and we've not had that problem in almost 2 years, which is kind of shocking that you say that,
I
that
mean,
we
backup
haven't.
cleaners, backup hostess. I mean, I figured that you
Don't
might
jinx
need
me,
one. I don't
Matt.
know.
Don't jinx
I'm not.
me.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. So if people were going to get into like managing hotels, is it what kind of approach would you take to manage a hotel? Do you think they should own their own hotel first, or what do you think people should do?
We invested in seven before we started co hosting, but we weren't active owners, right? We were passive investors and we just get the information about what's going on. So we decided we wanted to co host first before we owned one to kind of see what we're biting off. And I really like that. I feel like everyone who's interested in the space has been able to easily, through networking or the owners they already co host houses for, find a boutique hotel opportunity to co host. And I really like that approach of co-hosting a hotel first to see what you're getting into, you know? The tools are somewhat different. I mean, we still use Schlegelocks in a lot of them and stuff like that, but the PMS is different, and everyone's just going to be using Cloud for anything anyway, right? Before we know it, but
Yeah. Yeah. As long
learning
as
the
you can get
different
an API
nuances.
key.
hmm
Yeah. No, that's cool.
So are
So
you?
go ahead.
Oh, you got it, Matt, or?
No, go ahead. No, you're good. You're good.
Well, I was just
We didn't
curious. I was curious
communicate.
on your business setup for this. Like, are you, when you say co-hosting, are you like a co-host on the listing, or are you like doing full service? Because you said you're doing everything, not like an evolved style model. So when you're setting up or instructing people to set these businesses up, are you suggesting they do things like, I'm just trying to compare it to our business, like trust
hmm
accounting, and the listings are kind of in your name and you're kind of owning that asset? Or when you say co-hosting, is it more of like, hey, we have a XYZ hotel and we make their own account? I mean, just run me through I guess
Yeah,
the kind of
it
setup
is.
on
It
what that
is a
looks like.
little It is a little different because I am my onboarding fee, I'm going to set up the operations of your business, right? And so if someone is choosing us to manage their hotel, they need to know that if we ever part ways, they're not losing their listing. Yeah, you might lose your Airbnb listing if you're looking at a lake house, but it's a big deal if you lose your PMS on a hotel, if you lose your phone number. So we set up everything in the business name. We have a shared bank account. We are setting up the open phone, the cloud beds, everything for them as their business. And they only have rights to view. They don't have any access to make changes or engage and stuff like that. But it is different because we are not collecting the funds. We're submitting an invoice at the end of every month. So that's why I say co host, because it kind of is, even though it's full service. If that makes sense.
So you're use cloud beds as your PMS? Is
hmm
that what you said it was? So would that sync like if you had the rooms on Airbnb and Verbo as well, or does
Yeah.
that just
Yeah.
yeah, it just syncs to a lot more
Easily.
platforms? Is that what it
Yep.
is? Just like
Mm,
booking.com and all that stuff
No,
or
it's just it's pretty clunky with hospitable or guesty to separate the by rooms. If you have a
Mhm.
boutique hotel, we tried doing that at our ranch before we moved it to Cloud Beds. And Cloud Beds just makes it super easy to drag and drop. I'm going to move this person to this room for this reason. And it's I
Mm,
can as a guest look and see, okay, here's the calendar and here's all the rooms that are available. Which one do I want? They vary by room type, you know? And
yeah.
then the add-ons are really a big part of boutique hotels. I know we've always wanted them to be a big part of short-term rentals, but they actually are in boutique hotels to always sell early check-in or the bathrobes or the haunted tour or roses, stuff like that. And so it just makes it super easy and seamless at checkout and cloud beds to do that.
Yeah, so for Guesty doesn't like, we don't have any assets like that. We have multiple units like that where it wouldn't make sense outside of Guesty. But the Guesty rep was saying something about like they do have like a hotel style platform as well. Is that what you're referring to? Like you use that and you're saying like when you were doing that, it wasn't sufficient enough to where like making the jump to set up in cloud beds made significantly more sense. Is that right?
I tried in Hospitable and it was way too manual. I have friends who have tried in Guesty and nothing touches Cloudbeds. And plus, Cloudbeds pushes you out you end up automatically Google Hotels. Like you're pushed out, you have so much more visibility for direct bookings. And if you can have them build your website, they have so many integration points that make everything easier. They'll do your email marketing campaign and it's all AI driven. So, the email that goes out this month to Austin from when he stayed is going to mention his interest that he talked about in our communication. Where for Matt, the email communication might be inviting him to something different going on in town. So it's just the slickest. Muse is also a very big one in the industry. It's really Cloudbed and Muse that are the two industry leaders for
Yeah,
hotel
we're just working on,
PMSs.
yeah, we're working on something like a project, and it's a prospect that has multiple units where we're just trying to figure out if like, is that something we want to entertain? Do we want to incorporate and manage another PMS, or can they get is Guesty capable of doing that feature of it? So that's why I asked that question. Just personally, something
Right?
we maybe
How many rooms?
talk about. 40. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know like what.
Call me
Yeah,
later.
it might be
Yeah.
it might be one of those things, but um,
You
you
should
you
join her
probably,
mastermind.
huh?
Wait, hold on. Let me negotiate my percentage first.
Well,
No,
she
I'm just
knows.
kidding.
I mean, Don, you know Rashmi, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so y'all are in the mastermind or whatever. So she's a partner to it at Lazy H. So like, I mean, I have her
Yes.
in my back pocket to figure that problem out. But I was just that's one of the discussion points. But anyways, the job's not finished. We'd have to close the business anyways and go from there. And it's just one of those things I'm evaluating. If like, is this juice worth the squeeze? You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it sounds like you get a bigger squeeze, so it might be worth it, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
we'll
you
see.
make
They
more
gotta want to work
managing
with us
hotels,
first.
right?
Yeah, they gotta want to work with us first. So we'll see how it goes.
You got it.
But yeah, hopefully so.
So, what's what's your ultimate like what's your ultimate like goal, like vision? Like, do you have like an end game, or do you have like a super big goal that you're chasing right now?
Yeah, we've made some big decisions after our 30 days in Italy that we want to travel internationally at least 4 months a year. We're empty nesters. I have four adult sons, and my parents are getting older. So like, let's just go now before they're much older, and start make sure we're building a business that absolutely never requires us full time and to be here. We're already not in the business full time. We're very much focused on growing the business. We're not very involved in the STR side. It's almost all hotels and coaching. So continuing to do that, we love all things coaching and personal development and helping people succeed and be the best versions of ourselves. So I know that everything we're doing is moving towards that goal. And also working back towards when we had a combined seven-figure income in IT, and that is not the case. Since I mean, I love having my time freedom. Like it's well worth it, big time, but we are not back there. So very much get back to from a number, 100 grand a month. I don't care how many properties it is. I care about the number and making sure I am not tied to this phone 24/7 and can actually spend time in nature and spiritual connection with my loved ones and travel.
Well, that's actually what I wanted to talk about, and then I came up with a different question. So, and but that's what I wanted to ask. So everybody who doesn't know, you were just in like Italy, right? For like a
Hmm.
month, you said. So you
Yep.
were for a whole month. So explain to everybody like how much work you had to do in your business that time during that month in Italy, or did you work the whole time?
No, I worked about 4 hours a week. It was just a couple days here and there when I couldn't help it. I'd pop in on Slack and mentally I get sucked in on stuff that's going on. But no, we were able to take it off. The first week was with 14 family members. So it was a very different experience with a ton of people. The next week, it was down to six family members and really focused on quality time with my parents. And then Greg and I just to stay an extra 2 weeks alone. And we had no plans. And y'all, I am as planner as it gets. I'm a strong Capricorn. I want a color coded plan that is all organized and everything planned out, and was able to just go be completely spontaneous and not have a single reservation everywhere. Every few days, we didn't know where we were going and try something completely different. And so we got to experience a lot of cool boutique hotels and meet a lot of hosts and just explore the culture. And for me, it was all about my great grandparents are from Sicily and going to see the church where they got married and go really look into family history. And it just kicked off a bug in us. We're like, we want to experience different cultures and be in different countries, a few months a year.
That's awesome. I think a lot of people kind of wish they could, a lot of people want to go somewhere for a month and not be tied to their phone, like you're saying, and things like that. So, and I just wanted to reference that for everybody else out there because I feel like um, you show them what to thrive, thrive for, right?
Now, let's
Um,
be honest. Like when I'm here, I'm working all the time. Like we work every day and I can't seem to help it. But when I, am intentional about taking a trip and going somewhere, we have the support team where we don't have to. So I'm the problem.
it's who's wears the pants. No, I'm just kidding. Um, So you just want to make sure it's getting done. I get it. So Dawn, thank you so much for coming on. Do you have anything that you want to share with anybody that, get out there, anything like that, or tell them where to find you or follow you or
Sure.
unfollow you?
Kind of
Is there?
everything goes back to my Insta. I'm so annoyed that I got maxed out on Facebook friends last year. So everything goes back to Instagram now. And so my Instagram handle is Dawn of a Great Day, because it's always going to be a great day if you decide it is. Um, and so, yeah, love connecting with people there. And I just really believe that today we're in the spot for boutique hotels where we were 5 years ago for STRs before everyone in the world's doing it. So just love sharing ideas and brainstorming and helping people make that transition that are co-hosting or have their own short-term rentals to how to do things bigger and better and create whatever they're looking for.
Yeah, that's awesome. I am definitely interested in hotels. Um, but yeah, I mean, that was awesome. And I don't know if Austin can wrap us because he maybe a little background noise. Can you? You good?
You're the little guy
Okay.
back there.
Yeah, yeah, your kids screaming in the background. So, but yeah, Dawn, thanks again. We really appreciate it. If you guys want to know about hotels, go follow Dawn. If you want to watch someone who has fun all the time, go follow Dawn. I follow her on Facebook because I'm old school, and hopefully I don't max out on friends so I can not. But I love Facebook, so yeah, appreciate you. Really fun to
Same.
follow. I think you guys should all go out there and follow her. Cracks me up. Even some of the little dance moves you make Greg do. So it's too bad he
He
couldn't come
he's a
today.
he's a good sport, man. I
I
can't
I'm
say
think you
looking
he's
at.
just say, do it.
I can't
I
say he
followed
loves
her
so
on.
much I put him in front of the camera, but
Yeah.
he's he's a good sport. So yeah, we'll have to have him on next time because he has a wildly different perspective of everything than me. So it's fun.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, Don, thanks again. We really appreciate it. And with that, I'll let Austin wrap us up.
All right. Thank y'all for listening. Peace.